Hello everyone. So in this lesson, we'll look at statistical formulas. Let's say we have data of numbers random in the A column, right? So statistical formulas basically work with samples, right? So data sets. Now, what generally a sample size means is how many observations or values are there in that particular set, right? So normally, as previously seen, we normally use count, right? So when you select count and do all of these, right, and when you click enter, you'll see that okay, this is the number of elements that are there. So that is the sample size. But there is one problem with the formula count, right? For example, if there is something which is non-numeric or alphabetical, let's say I'm going to say ABC, what is going to happen is the sample size that will not include the text, right? So if you are looking at sample size including numeric and text, then you have to go for another formula which is count A, which what it will do is it will count all the values, be it text or numeric, and it will present. Okay, so this is about sample set, right? Average is something very simple, which we have previously seen. This is also a statistical formula, average, and you give the whole range, right? So I'm going to select this range, and you will get the average. Okay, so now the average here is 57.5. Now, median is basically the midpoint of this, right? For just keeping it simple, I'm just going to put this as a number, right, instead of ABC, right? And what we are going to do is let us look at what is median, right? So I'm just going to select median, and I'm going to select the whole range. So now what happens is 61. So basically that is where there the middle point of this particular data set is existing, right? So let's say if I want to show that to you, we have the same numbers, and here's the numbers, and now I'm just going to sort this smallest to largest, right? So now if you look at these observation, see, out of all these 19 to 20 observations, 61 is the midpoint, right? So this is where this data set is breaking into half, right? So that is what is median here. Okay, now mode, let's say I'm just going to say mode, and I'm going to select all of these numbers. Now, what mode will do is it will see the number which is highest number of repetitions or recurrence, right? So now, if you see here, 29 has come twice. Okay, so that is there. Let's say if now there's 63, and let's there's like two times 68, right? So now let's say that we are trying to do under 68. And the mode here is 68 right now. So basically, that is mode. The highest number of repeated points in your data set. Max is very simple. You're going to say max of the data set. It will give you the highest value. Similarly, is minimum, where you say min of the whole data set. It will give you the minimum value. Now, 25th percentile. So basically, let's say you have your data, and you are organizing all of your data from, let's say, increasing smallest to highest, right? So 25th percentile, if you divide your data, and 25% of your data is being separated from 75% of your data, as an example. So the highest point that is there in this particular segment is the 25th percentile, right? So let's try this. And how do you do this is you're just going to say percentile, and when you do percentile, first you select the rank, right? So first you select the array, okay? And within the array or the range, you select how much percentile you want. So you don't write 25% or 25, you write 0.25, right? And now when I click enter, now you see that this is the 29.5 is the point where the whole data divides uh, into from the 25th, the 25% of the data, and the rest of the data is separated, and that point is 29.5, right? So basically the highest value in the first 25% of that particular data, right? Now let's say if you want to do the 75th percentile, right? You're going to do the same thing, percentile, and you're going to select the array, and you're going to say comma 0.75, right? So 71.5 is the 75th percentile, right? Now, this is about percentile. Now, if at all you want any other percentile, the 10th percentile, the 50%, everything you 50th percentile, you'll just select it with the variation in this particular number, right? So standard deviation. So standard deviation is not like full standard deviation. You stay STDEV, right? So a standard deviation is basically uh, how how much could be a but standard deviation. So standard deviation is basically how together are your numbers, or how different are your numbers. Like for example, you have manufacturing of chocolates unit, right? And if mostly all of the chocolates are similarly sized, meaning the standard deviation is less. But then if most of the chocolates are the size is very abrupt and it is not very consist, like not very close, the deviation is high, means that your chocolates are not actually being produced in a consistent size, right? So the higher the standard deviation means the more your data is spread across, right? So how do you check this? Is you do stdev and select your data, right? And it will tell you like how much is the standard deviation, right? Now variance, it's a statistical formula. Normally what's variance is its standard deviation into standard deviation twice, right? That is generally how it is there. But then if you have to do it with a formula, you just have to say where then you select your data, right? So which will be the same, right? So coming to largest is also an interesting formula. You just going to say largest, large, and then you're going to select the data, right? So now here, if you're going to say one, which will give you the first largest number. But the interesting thing is, like, if you want to do the second largest number, only thing that you have to do is you just have to say 2, and you'll get the second largest number. And the same way, you can do the fifth largest number also. You just have to change this to 5, right? And same with smallest also. You're going to just say small, and you select the whole array, and maybe you just want to know the first smallest number, or maybe the third smallest number, right? So this is how this will work, right? And let's say you want to know the rank of each value in the data set, right? So how you do that is you're going to select equal to, you're going to select rank, right? And within rank, you just have to select the whole so basically the number, sorry, you just have to select that number, because you want to know the rank of 97 in the whole data, right? And then here in the reference, what you do is you're going to select the whole data set, okay? But what you need to do is you just have to add dollar symbol here. The reason is you don't want your data set to keep changing, right? So I'll tell you what happens, right? So now if you see increasing or decreasing, if you say decreasing, the rank will be different, increasing, the rank will be different, right? So so let's say we are going to do decreasing, okay? So 97 is the third number, third in rank in this whole data set, right? So now if this changes to ascending, the order will be actually reversed, okay? So that's how this will go, okay? Now other thing is, let's say if we do not have, let's say if we do not have these dollars, what is going to happen? Let's see, the whole data has been selected as like this one, right? And let's keep this as 0, okay? It's descending order. I'm just going to copy the same formula, but then you can see there's an error like this here, right? Formula omits adjacent cells. So basically what is happening is when you select this, the range also is shifting. Basically the range should have remained A2 to A20 completely, right? Now if I go here, the range is shifting downwards. If I select this one, from here the range will shift, right? To fix the range, you have to use the dollar symbols here, right? And this way what will happen is you will fix your data set, right? Whatever be it be the number, right? So now 63 is the 10th in rank when it is ascending order, right? So that is how this works. Okay, now this is what we call as rank. Okay, now let's say I'm just going to keep this way, descending. And now because it is all data has dollars, it is the data set is fixed, right? So now you can see that 68 has come the same rank because the same number, right? So that's how a rank works. Thank you.